हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द क्लास। सभी का स्वागत है। गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। सो दिस इज अ डेमो क्लास which I take on Unacademy Plus, the demo of the classes that I'm taking on Unacademy Plus, and this is a class on Delhi Sultanate. So in two parts we are going to cover the Delhi Sultanate, which is this is the part 1. दो parts में हम Delhi Sultanate को cover करेंगे। ये आपका part 1 है। So these are the demo classes. These classes I'm taking medieval Indian history courses I'm taking on Unacademy Plus. ठीक है, तो medieval Indian history के ऊपर ना मैं Unacademy Plus पर classes ले रही हूँ। तो ये आपका एक डेमो सेशन है कि हम कैसे क्लास लेते हैं। आई एम गोइंग टू शो यू हाउ वी आर मेकिंग नोट्स इन द क्लास, हाउ वी आर गिविंग फ्लो चार्ट्स टू द स्टूडेंट्स in the class. So it will become clearer to you, and accordingly you can decide to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, to subscribe to my courses. तो इस क्लास को का डेमो देखने के बाद आप डिसाइड कर सकते हो कि आप अनअकैडमी प्लस पर मेरे कोर्सेज को सब्सक्राइब करना चाहते हो या नहीं। ठीक है, so another point is that if you wish to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, you can use this code Sharma20. अगर आप Unacademy Plus पे सब्सक्राइब करना चाहते हो ना, तो आप ये कोड यूज कर सकते हो Sharma20। ठीक है, जिससे आपको you will be getting 10% discount on your subscription. You can take 1 month subscription, 2 month subscription according to the courses that you want to subscribe to. So this is Delhi Sultanate demo lecture that we are going to start today. Two dynasties we are going to study today. Okay. So let's start. Before that, here's a small announcement for all of you. So here's another important announcement by Unacademy. Unacademy CSE Mentors Workshop has been launched, wherein this workshop will be conducted today, that is on December 18th at 5 p.m. तो शाम को ये वर्कशॉप होगी and it's a free workshop for all of you. Now in this workshop we are having Devdutt Patnaik sir, who is a very famous mythologist, speaker, illustrator and author. He has written many books and I am a great fan of Devdutt Patnaik sir. I have his book on Hanuman Chalisa and it's one of the most wonderfully written book. And another speaker will be our Unacademy's top educator, Sharat Tripathi sir. They are going to discuss a very important topic for your essay in mains. The topic is how far science and religion can go together. This topic is becoming very interesting. Nowadays in the current affairs, also in the editorials, this topic has been discussed a lot. This is a free lecture that is going to help you a lot. Immensely, it will be beneficial for all of you for the upcoming mains examination, especially the essay paper. You can use this code ARPITA10 to unlock the free classes, to unlock the free mock test and structured courses on Unacademy Plus. आप अब यूपीएससी सीएससी के जीएस सब्सक्रिप्शन को फ्री में Unacademy Plus के ऐप पर अनलॉक कर सकते हो ये कोड यूज करके, जो कि है ARPITA10. The link is given below in the description box. Download the Unacademy Learning app, register or sign in on the app, select the goal as UPSC CSE, and then click on the link given below in the description box, enroll in the course and use this code ARPITA10 to unlock the free classes, free mock test on Unacademy Plus. So today we are going to start with the Delhi Sultanate. When we study the Delhi Sultanate, it is divided into different parts or different dynasties. First of which is the slave or Ilbari dynasty. The founder was Qutbuddin Aibak. Second is Khalji dynasty. Founder was Jalaluddin Khalji. Third is Tughlaq dynasty. Founder is Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Sayyid dynasty. The founder is Khizr Khan. And Lodi dynasty. The founder is Bahlol Lodi. In today's class, we are going to study Qutbuddin Aibak and Jalaluddin Khalji. That means we are going to study slave dynasty and Khalji dynasty. ये तो डायनेस्टीज आज की क्लास में हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. आई होप यू आर मेकिंग रनिंग नोट्स इन द क्लास इटसेल्फ. स्टार्टिंग विद द स्लेव डायनेस्टी. सो एज यू कैन सी इन द मैप, दिस वाज दिस ग्रीन कवर्ड एरिया is the slave dynasty, in which Delhi was also covered, because that is why it is known as the Delhi Sultanate period. So I have marked different areas in the map representing different dynasties of the 12th century. Here we have Chandelas, Kaktiya, Yadavs, Rajputs, Hoysala dynasty. Then we have the Arab Empire, the Khyber Pass, and here we have the slave dynasty. When we study about the slave dynasty, why this word slave was given to this dynasty? Slave dynasty is also known as Mameluke dynasty. Mameluke is an Arabic word which means owned. Now, Mameluke is the word which is used to distinguish important Turkish slaves chiefly meant for military service from lower slaves who were used as domestic labor or artisans. So when we talk about Muhammad Ghori, who invaded India 7 times, he made different Turkish people his slaves. He conquered the Turkish people, the Turkish Empire, and made them his slaves. The slaves were divided into two parts. First were the upper slaves, second were the lower slaves. Upper slaves were the slaves who were employed in the army, in the military service. Lower slaves were the slaves who were domestic laborers, who used to work for the king as domestic labor or artisans, that is, painters or singers. So the slave dynasty is established by those slaves who were indulged in who participated in the army of Muhammad Ghori. So slave dynasty is divided into three parts. First is known as Kutubi dynasty, whose founder was Kutubuddin Aibak from 1206 to 1211 CE. Second is the first Ilbari dynasty, whose founder is Iltutmish. And second is, first आपके होगा Ilbari, second is your second Ilbari dynasty, 1266 to 1290. Founder was Balban. As you can see on the screen, these are the kind of notes that we provide in the class to our students. इस तरीके के notes हम class में provide करते हैं so that it becomes easy for the students to revise before their exam, because these notes, they are creatively framed, they are creatively artistic in nature, and they help the students to retain the facts for a longer period of time. इन notes को लेने के बाद students को self notes बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. After getting these notes there is no need to prepare notes separately. Self notes बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. And we include maps also in the classes. Now first let us study about Kutubuddin Aibak. When we talk about Kutubuddin Aibak, he was the founder of slave dynasty, and he is also considered by many historians as the real founder of Muslim rule in India. ऐसा काफी लोग बोलते हैं, काफी scholars बोलते हैं कि कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक ने ही मुस्लिम रूल इंडिया में establish किया था. And also it is said that he was the Turkish slave of Muhammad Ghori. ये मोहम्मद गोरी के ना Turkish slave कहलाए जाते थे. He played a very crucial role in expanding the Turkish Sultanate in India. So Muhammad Ghori, what he did when he invaded India, मोहम्मद गोरी अफगान थे. जब उन्होंने इंडिया में इन्वेड किया तो उन्होंने यहाँ पर अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के तौर पर अपने टर्किश स्लेव कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक को भेज दिया था. When he invaded India, he sent his representative to rule on behalf of Kutubuddin Aibak, who was on behalf of Muhammad Ghori, who was Kutubuddin Aibak, one of the Turkish slaves of Muhammad Ghori employed in the military of Muhammad Ghori. So he raised a standing army in India. He was after the death of Muhammad Ghori, he founded or established the slave dynasty in India. He was the governor of Ghori's Indian possessions. He established his hold over the North India, as we have seen in this map also. The complete North India was under the slave dynasty. So when we talk about Kutubuddin Aibak, after the death of Ghori, he faced resistance from ruler of Ghazni, Multan, Rajputs, but he very successfully won over his enemies by conciliatory measures. That means he displayed his power, and because of which the empires, Ghazni Empire, Multan king and the Rajput rulers, they finally conciliated with him. They finally, allowed him to rule in India. He defeated Yalduz also, who was the ruler of Ghazni, using his standing army. He reconquered Farrukhabad in UP and Badayu in UP. He established his slave dynasty and Delhi Sultanate. He built the first mosque in India, which is known as Quwwatul Islam, which is in Delhi. This is important for prelims. They can ask you who was the ruler who established or built the first mosque in India. It was Kutubuddin Aibak. They can ask you the location of the mosque also. It is in Delhi. He also built Arhai Din Ka Jhopda, which is in Ajmer. So location you have to remember for prelims. आपको location prelims के लिए याद रखनी है. Now when we move forward, he assumed the title of Sultan. इन्होंने खुद को सुल्तान का title दिया. So he used to, call himself Sultan Kutubuddin Aibak. He did not issue any coins and formally recognized after 3 years. अब इन्होंने किसी तरीके के कॉइन्स इशू नहीं किए और 3 साल बाद फॉर्मली पूरी इंडिया ने इनका रूल को रिकॉग्नाइज किया, माना. ही वाज आल्सो नोन एज लाख बख्श, that means giver of lakhs. So he was a very, you can say charity hearted person. He used to give lakhs in charity and donation. So that is why he was known as Lakh Baksh. Okay. So Kutubuddin Aibak, he started the construction of Qutub Minar, but he did not complete it. This Qutub Minar was completed by Iltutmish. So he started the construction of Qutub Minar in the memory of a Sufi saint known as Khwaja Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Later, this Qutub Minar, which is in Delhi, it was completed by Iltutmish. Qutbuddin Aibak died suddenly in 1210 CE while playing Chogan. Chogan is known as horse polo. This is again important for prelims. They can ask you what is Chogan. It is horse polo. Now coming on to Iltutmish. When we talk about Iltutmish, he is the one who is also known as the real consolidator of Turkish rule in India, because in his time period he prevented the very dangerous Mongol attack. He was also the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak, and he removed the son of Aibak who could rule for only 8 months, and he established himself as the king of the Delhi Sultanate. He became the Sultan with the name of Shamsuddin. So he was known as Shamsuddin Iltutmish. He also has the credit of consolidating Delhi Sultanate, right? दिल्ली सल्तनत को पूरी तरीके से टेरिटोरियली कंसोलिडेट करने का जिम्मा इन्हीं का था, इन्हीं को रिस्पॉन्सिबल माना जाता है. He belonged to the Ilbari tribe. That is why his ruling period is known as Ilbari dynasty. He shifted his capital from Lahore to Delhi, and he also saved India from the attacks of Genghis Khan. He organized Turkan-e-Chahalgani. What is Turkan-e-Chahalgani? It is a new class of ruling elite of 40 powerful military leaders, which was also known as the 40. तो ये जो तुर्गन-ए-चहलगनी था, इसको द 40 भी बोलते थे, जिसमें 40 बहुत पावरफुल मिलिट्री लीडर्स हुआ करते थे. सो यू कैन से दैट ही हैड अ वेरी सुपीरियर और सुप्रीम मिलिट्री. इनकी जो मिलिट्री थी काफी सुपीरियर और सुप्रीम थी. He divided his empire into iktas. Iktas means giving land in lieu of salary. For example, if somebody is employing you at the place of salary, he will give you land. Okay, that is iktas. जब salary की बजाय आपको जमीन दी जाती है. He also issued Arabic coinage of silver tanka. This is the silver tanka. ये है वो silver tanka. Its weight was 175 grams. He divided his empire into iktas, and every owner of the ikta was known as iqtidar. He had to maintain law and order and collect revenue from that land. After deducting his salary, the rest of the amount had to be given to the central government. So for example, if I am the iqtidar, I am the government officer, and in lieu of the salary I am being given land. From the land I am collecting 100 rupees as revenue, and my salary is 50 rupees. So I will deduct 50 rupees of my salary from this 100 rupees, and rest of the 50 rupees I will give it to the central government. So you can say, as a matter of fact, iqtidars were transferable. Okay, so that means the office holders, they were transferable also. Point clear हो गया सभी को यहाँ तक? This is very important fact for prelims. Coming on to the next important point of Iltutmish, his authority was recognized by the Abbasid Caliph of Baghdad also. Caliph means the religious head. So there were different caliphates which were established in Arabian nations. One of them was the Abbasid Caliph. He also recognized his authority by giving him Mansoor. This is Mansoor. ये जो दो चीजें देख रहे हो आप, ये coins नहीं है, ये Mansoor है. What is Mansoor? Letter of resignation or investiture. ठीक है? Sorry, not resignation. इसको कट कीजिए. It is letter of recognition. ठीक है? This is letter of recognition. So after receiving Mansoor, he became the legal sovereign ruler of India. He is also known as the father of tomb building because he built Sultangadi tomb in Delhi. He completed the construction of Qutub Minar also, and he patronized Minhas-us-Siraj. Who was Minhas-us-Siraj? He was the contemporary historian. He wrote Tahaqqat-e-Nasuri. He declared his daughter Razia as his successor, which was considered as one of the most brilliant steps taken by him at that time. He knew that all of his sons are not capable to rule, and he found that capability in his daughter Razia Sultana. Right? So you can say at that time he had a very progressive mindset. When we talk about Razia Sultana, she was the first and only female Muslim ruler of medieval India. She discarded female apparel, that is the female clothing, and पर्दा system. She held the court. She used to sit in her court with her face unveiled. ये कोई भी पर्दा system को follow नहीं करती थी. वो अपने आप को किसी आदमी से कम भी नहीं समझती थी. She tried to create counter nobility of non-Turks and invited the wrath of Turkish amirs. Amirs means ministers. So what she did, she tried to include the non-Turkish people also in the administration to spread equality. but this was not liked by other Turkish ministers. So she was finally defeated and killed by her own brother Bahram Shah, who was also the son of Iltutmish, out of jealousy and revenge. Now we study about Balban. Balban is considered as the main architect of Delhi Sultanate period. He asserted an enhanced power of monarchy. He gave himself two titles. This is important. First title is known as Zil-e-Ilahi, that is God's shadow on earth. Second is Nibayabat-e-Khudahi, that means recipient of divine grace. These were the two titles that he used to give himself. He ruled in a very autocratic manner, and also he wanted everybody to touch his feet whenever he entered the court. And also he was a member of Chahalgani. I told you, Chahalgani, the 40 top military leaders. So he was one of the members of Chahalgani. He introduced Sajda and Paibas. Sajda means prostration. That means whenever he is entering the court, everybody has to prostrate in front of him. And Paibas, that means kissing Sultan's feet. He got every member of Iltutmish's family killed also. He introduced Persian festival Nowruz, and he refused to laugh and joke in court in order to make sure that everybody is scared of the king or everybody is disciplined in the court. Moving forward, he separated Diwan-e-Unzarat, that means finance department, from the Diwan-e-Arz, that is the military department. Eventually, he died in 1287 century. Coming on to the Khalji dynasty, as you can see over here, this was the extent of Khalji dynasty. ये आप अगर इधर देखो तो ये extent था Khalji dynasty का. This was because the founder was Jalaluddin Khalji. Then in the era of Alauddin Khalji, the extent or the territorial expansion took place. आप देख सकते हो ये जो areas हैं, ये areas भी cover कर लिया Alauddin Khalji ने. ठीक है, Alauddin Khalji very successfully covered these areas also. He expanded his territory to all the other parts of the nation. So when we talk about the first founder of the Khalji dynasty, he was Jalaluddin Khalji. He laid the foundation of Khalji dynasty and he was 70 years old when he came to power. He also repelled the attack of Mongols, but finally he married his daughter to the Ulugh Khan, who was the descendant of Genghis Khan. Why? To win the Mongols' goodwill. Now when we talk about Jalaluddin Khalji, somewhat he was also, a kind of a noble ruler because he avoided harsh punishments. He adopted a policy of tolerance. And also it is said that the Mongols who were repelled back by Jalaluddin Khalji, they got settled near Delhi. They were known as New Musalmans. Then came Alauddin Khalji. He reversed all the policies of Jalaluddin Khalji, and it is also said that he treacherously, cleverly murdered his own uncle, that is Jalaluddin Khalji. So he reversed the policy of tolerance of Jalaluddin Khalji. He was a very ambitious nephew and son-in-law of Jalaluddin Khalji, and he appointed as Amir-e-Tuzuk. He was appointed as Amir-e-Tuzuk and Ariz-e-Mumlik. तो ये जो थे जलालुद्दीन खलजी के टाइम पर आमिर-ए-तुजुक थे, that is master of ceremonies थे, and minister of war भी थे. He slaughtered the new Muslims who were the Mongols who were repelled back by, Jalaluddin Khalji, and he removed the powers of nobles and ulemas. Ulemas are the religious heads, the priest. ठीक है, जो religious heads हुआ करते हैं. Now he practiced 4 ordinances. First, he confiscated the properties of nobles because he used to think that if nobles become very rich and very powerful, they can go against the Sultan. Secondly, he established an intelligence system. He reorganized all the secret activities of nobles and immediately reported to the Sultan. The nobles, the spies immediately reported it to the Sultan, the activities of the nobles. So in that way, he was keeping an eye on the activities and steps of nobles also, to make sure that nobody rises against him. He also prohibited the use of liquor and intoxicants to ensure discipline in the court. Also, the social gatherings and festivals, if they are celebrated without the permission of Sultan, they were forbidden. So, the people required the permission of Sultan before conducting any social gathering or festival. Now, when we talk about the administration of Alauddin Khalji, in the area of military reforms, he was the first Sultan to have a large permanent standing army and paid them in cash. So, you can say that Alauddin Khalji's empire was very wealthy. He imported horses, and according to historian Perishta, he recruited 4,75,000 cavalrymen. Cavalrymen are the ones who fight or participate in the war using the horses. He introduced 2 kinds of systems. Chehra system, that means detailed description of each soldier was listed down in a, you can say record register. and Dag system, that is branding of horses. So good breed of horses were used in his empire. Second reform is the market reform. Now here he finalized important policy initiatives, measures to control market and price regulations. So he established 4 separate markets in Delhi. First market was the mandi, that is the grain market. Second was Sarai Adal, that means the market for cloth, sugar, dried fruits, butter and oil. Third was the market for horse, slaves and cattle. And fourth was the miscellaneous commodities market for the other goods. So these were the different reforms that he brought in his time period. तो ये था आपका दिल्ली सल्तनत पीरियड class 1. We have covered slave dynasty and Khalji dynasty. Tomorrow we are going to cover Tughlaq and Sayyid dynasty. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. So similarly, we are taking classes, course batches on Unacademy Plus. If you like the notes format, if you like the class, you can also subscribe to Unacademy Plus to my courses, and you can use this code Sharma20 to get 10% discount as well. Thank you.